What's up guys, welcome back to my channel here, GGFOREX, and I am not looking so bad. Obviously I'm looking terrible, but the charts aren't looking terrible. I mean, we're starting to get a sell-off now on EN, we're starting to get a nice sell-off on GN, which is good. Looks like EJ is pushing up, that's in profit. So really, we're only in drawdown on one of my EN trades. Obviously there was two positions in that, one a lot wider, and one on USD CAD. USD CADs are quite confusing. I can't really figure out what I want to do. DXY, I can't really figure out what I want to do. It looks like it's trying to push higher, but at the same time it seems to be really struggling and pushing lower. But let me just show what I'm on about. So this is the EN trade. Obviously I got on a position here for 1 to 4. This is obviously in drawdown by halfway, and obviously this is my other trade. So it's just breaking out. It has broke out into profit, but it's sort of retracing back, so it's going to be messing around like for a little bit because it is only 8:30 in the morning. So London Open has just kicked off, so yeah, by New York Open we'll have to see what happens here, but it does kind of make sense. Like if I get this sort of price action where price comes down, does that, and then does this, and then does that, and then does that, and then does that, that'd be quite cool. Because if this closes below here and then gets a nice break of these lows, then we could be looking at a nice re-entry. But you know, we'll have to see, have to wait and hope that that sort of price action happens. But at the moment it's still looking good. GN was looking a lot nicer. Just came into our entry, reacted off, and now it's pushing away again. If I get a close and it does this sort of thing and then does that, and we could be looking something like this, that'd be really nice. If I can see that price action happening, then I'll be very happy, because we could be turning this 1 to 7 into like a 1 to 10 if that is the case, but we'll have to wait and see. EJ looks like it's pushing away now. The only concern is obviously if this gains strength, then obviously EN may suffer, but we'll have to wait and see. But so far this is going well. This is only 0.5% risk on now. If this breaks and closes above this high, then we could be looking at a nice re-entry. So again, if this breaks above here and flags down to this area, and then hopefully get another push, that's what I'm hoping for. But again, we'll have to wait and see what price does, but so far this is looking good as well. The only concern that I have really on my trades is USD CAD, which is, it is showing like it wants to sell off. It has filled this white bar here is imbalance, where it's filled it beautifully. Came right up to that point of price inefficiency, because this is quite well balanced price action. It's really nice. You can see all the wicks, it's filling up all the gaps, really nice balance. The only thing that was this bit of imbalance here where price never filled it, where it just sells in one position. So it came back, filled that area, and it started to sell off. It started to show some rejection in this area and starting to push down. But then if you have a look at the DXY, it's sort of like in a weird place. Like it has made more trendline liquidity to the downside, which obviously we know from previous history it does, and then breaks and then comes higher and then makes more. So it could sell off from here, and obviously if this sells off from here and takes out our lower targets down here, then USD CAD will shape up to be nice. But at the moment it's kind of being a bit weird, and I just kind of need to see the CAD strengthen itself to see what happens. Let's have a look at the CAD. So really I need to see the CAD get stronger. It's sort of looking like it's making a higher low, which could mean it's getting stronger, but I don't know. Need to see what happens. It is in a logical point of interest for price to retrace, to go higher. And you see it's trading in this area. That's a terrible drawing, but you know what I mean. It's trading in that area. So we could see price. Oh my God, this drawing is terrible. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah, so that's what I have right now. It's literally just, I'm not going to do any more trades. I'm not going to place any more trades. I'm literally just going to sit and wait to see what happens. Nothing's really going to happen now until I see when the latest news out. So today we got USD news at 8:30 in the morning. apparently. Let me just refresh that because it's gone 8:30. Still haven't had it. It is PPI data on USD. Oh, at 1:30 in the afternoon. So until 1:30 in the afternoon, I can't imagine much stuff happening. But we just have to wait and see. Bad news. EN failed, both of them. So that's -2 today. But it's not all over yet. I'm still in GN, I'm still in USD CAD. USD CAD's kind of messing me about, and so is GN messing me about. EJ, funnily enough, the one that I put the least risk in, is working really well. So if you watched yesterday's video, you know exactly how I feel. Anyway, this is not over till the fat lady sings, and I'm the fat lady, and I haven't sung yet, so it's not over, okay? And I'm just gonna show you why. So, this is GN. I still feel like it's gonna mess about in this 1 hour area. Around that 1 hour area, I still think it's gonna mess about here. Maybe take it, let's see when it's had them, right? Yeah, so that's the New York London cross. So it's either gonna mitigate that area, I can't really, that area there properly, or it's gonna blow past it and I'm gonna lose. That's basically the outcome of this, right? But so far, I feel like it's gonna work out how I want it to, because it's doing all the right things, it's just time now. EJ is working really well. If price breaks above here and closes, then I'll look for a re-entry. So that could be a nice ride up to this premium zone. Let me just turn this off a sec. Obviously my TP was here, but I thought why not just go for where I think price is gonna go to anyway, which is up here, which is fine. USD CAD is messing me about, but it's to be expected, I guess, until this afternoon. They're going to hold price until they get some data or whatever, until 1:30 this afternoon. That's when we're going to really see this move. It is hovering around here, but then if you have a look at the DXY is selling off. So technically, USD CAD should sell off. But it's not, it's sort of hovering, so they're definitely waiting for some sort of manipulation news this afternoon. If I have a look at Canadian dollar on the futures, so see, Canadian dollar's sort of like accumulating this, so if this gets stronger, then USD CAD should definitely sell off. But as it's not really doing much at the moment, I don't really know. I feel like this is why USD CAD isn't moving, is because this isn't moving yet. Obviously the DXY is selling off, but the CAD isn't really getting stronger. If I have a look at oil I feel like should be coming up to at least this area. But yeah, there are plenty of reason for oil to go higher. But we'll have to wait and see till 1:30 this afternoon. But the DXY is doing what it's to do. It is selling off logically. It did manipulate this Friday's highs from last week, and then now it is pushing down to these targets, which is great. But obviously USD CAD has other ideas, and it's like, you know what, I'm just going to hover around a bit, make you poop yourself, make you stress, and all the other stuff. So yeah, if obviously USD CAD comes down, breaks this low, we have a re-entry. Same with GN. GN's messing me about. But obviously if it breaks this low, then we have a re-entry. And obviously EJ, if it breaks this high and closes above, then we have a re-entry. So it's not fully over yet for setups, but it's just kind of frustrating. It's frustrating, so I am 5.5% down. But it's not over yet, okay? We're still fighting. You just gotta see the setups and then take them. Whatever happens, happens. It's gonna be volatile. It is what it is. You just gotta do what you gotta do, but yeah. Let's see how things go. Morning, guys. It is the next day, and yes, I am starting with bad news. So, USD CAD failed, and EJ failed, annoyingly, but I'm gonna explain why. And this is just the way the cookie crumbles, okay? So, I was being extra safe on EJ, so I moved my stop loss below a low. The lows didn't get taken, but at that time of night, the spreads went mental, and it didn't go down on TradingView, but it went down on my Ftmo broker side of things on CTrader, and then took me out through the spreads. So let me just explain what I mean. So technically this is EJ at the moment, right? And I moved my stop loss below this low here. So technically it was like that, okay? But when obviously price came down here, I know it's annoying because of these things, but when price came down here, it didn't actually go past where I had my stop loss, obviously, as you can see, but the spreads did take me out. So that's annoying. But maybe it's my fault for moving my stop loss closer, even though it didn't actually fail, but it did fail because of the spreads in that time of day. But we'll see how this one plays out, if it would have been a winner or not. If it does and it makes more structure, then it could be a re-entry time. But now all my trades will be 0.5% risk. The other trade I failed was USD CAD. As you can see, it did everything I wanted it to do. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean on GN as well, and what it has done in this pair in the past, right? So let me just bring up this chart of what I was expecting here, what happened here. And this is why you can't just pick and choose. What happened here is what I was looking for here, is what I was expecting here as well. So what I'm trying to say is, you can't pick and choose what trades win and what trades don't. You just have to trade what you can see, right? And then go from there. And this is what I'm doing, okay? And I'm going to explain to you what my thought process was for getting into USD CAD in the first place. And we'll just go from there, okay? So as you can see, USD CAD has blown through the water. But what was I expecting to see? Let me go on to the 4-hour time frame, just so we can see, right? So we have a trend line full of liquidity, right? Let's just start it from down here or whatever, right? So we have a trend line full of liquidity. This is where people are thinking, oh, I'm going to buy from it, it's going to bounce off, blah 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 blah. I'm waiting for this low to get broken, right? As you can see, if I go to the line graph, the low is broken, clearly broken. This one and this one, not this one, but this one and this one and this one, right? So 3 of these important lows were broken, right? So I was like, okay, right, now it could be a manipulation move, blah, 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 right? The last up candle to cause that break was this one. And then there are more things into it, but I'm saving it for my group, right? Different confirmations, but look, bang, bang, that's the last candle, move down, and then depending what your plan was, you could have targeted that, or if you just wanted to pass the Ftmo in one trade, you know, you could have targeted these lows down here if you wanted to, right? There's plenty of reasons for it to go lower, as you can see, equal lows right there, you could have just targeted them, well, that's where I am now, and then you could have filled the imbalance down here, which caused this move, right? Could have filled that, and then yeah, you could have got these lows underneath here if you wanted to, right? But you would have been waiting a long time for this to happen. But that's what I was predicting, right? That's what, a 1 to 16, right, on one trade. So that's exactly what I was looking for here. Reasons being trend line. Trend line was broken. What was the last up candle? What broke this trend line? Where is it? I know my stop loss is a lot worse, but you know, just is what it is. You can't choose it, right? And I was going to target these lows down here, right? Even for a 1 to 4, but I just never did. It just blasted through. So that's what I mean, like all of the trades I've taken, yes, that I've been quite unlucky, but there are reasons behind why. I'm going on history of what I can see, not what I think, what I can see in certain key areas. It was in the key area, it did exactly the same move, it just didn't work out, and that is it. These are the things you can't help with. It's just the way it is. And with GN, it's exactly the same, and it's probably, I don't know for sure, but it might be horrible to me today. And it looks like it probably is going to be horrible to me today. It is 11 o'clock in the morning. But I'll show you what I mean on GN, right? So, 4-hour time frame. In a key area. This is in a key area because it is trading in a daily point of interest over here, right? But I'm on the 4 hour time frame and I'm not going to change it, right? Okay, so trend line, broken, targets, last up candle, move down, right? Same thing. Key area again, trend line, broken, targets, last up candle, and at the moment it looks like it's just going to blast through, right? Even this one has liquidated the highs above, but yeah, so these, and I had divergence, imbalance, all the stuff I want to look for, and it's obviously not working out, and that is just the way it is. I'm playing my edge, that's all I can do, and whether it's going to work or not, it's up to the markets. But it's the end of the year, it's the last month of trading, it's probably the last full heavy week of news of trading, so bad things are going to happen, right? And bad things have happened, will happen, and are happening. So if I lose this one on GN, I will be 7.7% down, I want to say. I want to say 7.7. Let me just do my calculations. Yeah, I'll be down 7.8%. So I'm down 7.8%, right? Which means I've only got 2.2% risk left on the card. So that means the trades that I'm going to be taking now are only going to be 0.5%, just because of the situation I'm in and what is happening. I can't help with. You know, as you can see, the setups that I wanted to do and look for worked beautifully, right? It just doesn't have to work all the time, and that is it. So if you're in a challenge and you think that your setups are wrong, you need to change your plan, you need to change your strategy, something's not working, it's not that at all. It's just, it doesn't work 100% of the time, it doesn't have to. It's a numbers game, right? Because obviously if you did that trade that I showed you on USD CAD, and it worked out, and you got a 1 to 16, you're laughing, aren't you? You're thinking you're a god or whatever. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. So if you got a 1 to 16 in one trade, and then you did the same trade again and lost, you're still up 15% if you risk 1%, right? Or if you're still up 30% if you risk 2%, because you would have got 32 minus 2, right? So that is trading for you 101. That is the game, and how horrible it is. But the trades I'm looking at now are GA for a short and AU for a short, okay? Let me just show you what I mean on GA and AU. So GA, right? I was doing some back testing last night, so ignore these. I didn't take these trades, but they would have been absolutely beautiful, okay? Back testing, it just made complete sense to me, and it's frustrating how I didn't catch any of these after I think with back testing, right? For me, back testing is completely emotional detachment. Nothing's underlying. You're just trading exactly what you see, not what you think, and it's just pure clarity. And that's how I need to be when I trade. But that's really hard to get to that level. It will take me time and many, many years of practice. So I'll get there eventually, but again, works out great. So let me just go on GA again. We are in a high time point of interest, right? The only risk to this trade are these equal highs above, right? Up here. But it came up into a premium area where price is cheap. It liquidated all of these lows down here, right? It came up, bang, fell off. Nice set of divergence as well. So what caused that sell-off? This up here. So that's where I'm assuming price to go back down to, and also there are reasons for price to go lower as well, right? Got imbalance down here, unmitigated orders, equal lows, etc. They don't have to, but there are reasons for price to go lower, even to mitigate out their orders down here that they haven't yet filled, and there is imbalance, and also my TP is above that area. So yeah, so that's one of them. And AU is these beautiful, I need to go on the daily time frame to show you guys these equal lows. Look at that, beautiful equal lows. This is the last daily candle, so I'm assuming price to come down and take these, which would be nice. But yeah, so this liquidate these highs, little mini distribution, made me targets, so I'm assuming price to go up into this area and into this area and then push down. If it doesn't happen and I lose, hey ho, 0.5%. I don't think anything can get much worse in this challenge, to be honest. But it is what it is. I can't help that. I just got to trade my plan. And it looks like GN at the moment may be taking me out. Oh, what a day. Yep, and that is GN gone. Failed. It is what it is. I can't really argue with it. I traded my plan, and that is all I can do. And this was my nicest setup. This looked beautiful. But yeah, so here's the back end to my Ftmo account. Beautiful, isn't it? Amazing. Nice and depressing to look at. So I'm down 7.8%. Yeah, it's not going well. But again, guys, all these trades I would do again. As you can see on the opposite side of that trade, it worked beautifully. That's all I can do. This setup, which didn't work, looked better than the one to the left of it, that did work. And that's just the way it is. That's all you can do. That's all I can say. You move on and then see what the rest of the day brings us. But yeah, not great. Right, guys, so even though it has been FTMO, it has been FMOC, news has come out. Nothing really has happened, but what I have seen is this real nice targets being made on USD CAD. Obviously now it's in line with the DXY because I believe the DXY is bullish. It's got loads of imbalance to fill. There's higher time frame targets up here. But just this overall picture, accumulation, push higher, made targets, come down, liquidated the lows to push higher, made beautiful targets. So to me, if the price, where's my brush tool? I don't want price to take out my targets, that'll be annoying. But if price starts to come down like this, boom, boom, that'd be really nice. Potential re-entry on there as well if that does happen. But that's what I'm looking at on USD Chef, and AUD USD is going really well. As you can see, its price is pushed up and liquidated these highs, but on the higher time frame, it has made on beautiful daily equal lows. Right, let me just zoom out a sec so you can see. Right, you can see it's beautiful equal lows where we are acting in a daily area. So when I go down to the 3 hour, which is my entry, you can see liquidated the highs, nice distribution, push down, made targets, and I'm just waiting for that imbalance. So if this doesn't happen, i.e. if price comes down and makes a new low, so if price comes down here and closes, then I could be looking for a retracement to somewhere in this area and then push down. But I'll have to wait and see what price does because it hasn't broken this low or stayed there yet, so structure is still to this high here. So price could mess around a bit, come down and then do something like that and then come down or something along those lines. But until this low gets broken, that is going to be my entry. If this low does get broken, then this will be my entry. GA as well, it has broken this low, so I'm entering off the 8 hour time frame. Whoops, that was an accident. But as you can see, price closed below this low here, and now it's doing a really nice flag up. Controlled, tap, retest, boom. That's what I'm hoping for on this overall. But yeah, so it hasn't been the smoothest experience for me today, as you can see, but it's not over yet. These are some really nice setups. If I can get to profit again, then that'll be great. If I get another free retake, I can start in January where price action will be a lot better. It moves better, it's faster, it's kind of cleaner at the same time. Banks have new targets. So things should start moving the way I like price action to move, especially in the first quarter of the year. Then we can start seeing some shaky stuff again. But yeah, it's just not a great time of year to start trading, especially during a challenge as well. It's always going to be challenging doing a challenge. There's too many challenges, isn't it? But you know what I mean. But so far these setups are great. I'm not really looking at anything else. Tomorrow is Thursday. We have a lot of GBP news, which would be great, especially for GA because it is 220 pips away from where I would like to sell from. So it's going to need news to get up to that level anyway, just to even trigger me in. But yeah, so guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.